You're watching CTV News Channel. The latest on the British royal family and perhaps a sign of more trouble. It seems that King Charles will not have time to see his son Prince Harry during an upcoming visit the prince is going to make to the UK. Harry will be there to attend a number of events in celebration of the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Games, of course, which he is behind. The King's younger son hasn't gone back to the UK much since he and his wife Meghan Markle stepped away from their royal duties back in 2020 in a huge rift and made international headlines, and not good ones for the royal family. His last publicized trip was in February when he visited his father following Charles's cancer diagnosis. So what's going on here? Afua Hagan is my guest, CTV royal commentator. Afua, great to have you with us as always. So cut through this for us. Your take.
Well, Prince Harry is already in the UK, actually. He arrived today and he was seen arriving for a conference, a one-day conference called the Invictus Games Foundation Conversation that took place today. But yes, as he landed, we had that he won't be seeing the King, that the King doesn't have time in his very busy diary to make time to see Prince Harry. So a spokesperson for the Duke of Sussex said in response to the many inquiries and continued speculation on whether or not the Duke will meet with his father while in the UK this week, unfortunately will not be possible due to His Majesty's full programme. And the King is very busy. It's thought that he has garden party tomorrow and a few other engagements coming up this week. And it is a real shame for the Duke of Sussex that he won't be able to meet with his father, King Charles. But the optics of this are pretty terrible as well. That even though Prince Harry did manage to see his father when he returned just after the announcement of his cancer diagnosis, that this time around it seems that King Charles is too busy to make time for Prince Harry for the few days when he is in London. It doesn't look good for royal unity at all.
No, it really doesn't. And the idea that, you can have a full schedule, and no doubt the king does, garden parties and ribbon cuttings and whatnot, but surely you have, half an hour to see your own son. So I wonder, how much of this is because of the bad blood between the two. And obviously they know now that people are going to be talking about this.
Oh, yes, of course. They know that this is going to be headlines. King Charles III suffering from cancer but not making time to see his son. Like I said, the optics are pretty bad. And it doesn't speak to their relationship. It doesn't speak to them getting on, really, does it? And it seemed different at the beginning of the year. Like I said, when Prince Harry, rushed back to see King Charles III just after the announcement of his cancer diagnosis. Yes, they did have a very short meeting. It was under an hour, but he did make the time to see each other. And perhaps it's felt that this time round, King Charles III is back to work. He really wants to be throwing himself into doing that work, and there's not that sense of emergency. Maybe that's some of the thinking behind it, but it doesn't bode well for either of them in this, that they haven't made time to see each other. And I do think it is a real shame.
We know that in Prince Harry's book, Spare, he talked about Fia wanting to reconcile with his family, although, some of his actions may appear to be, to the contrary. Where do things stand, do you think, that relationship between the king and the prince?
You're absolutely right. Prince Harry has spoken, not just in Spare, but on the media run he did around the launch of the book, saying that he wanted his father back, he wanted his brother back, he wants his family back. A couple of years on, it doesn't seem to be as far down the road as we would like. But then we don't know everything that goes on behind closed doors. There have been conversations between Prince Harry and King Charles III, and I think at the moment, absolutely, the optics are terrible. It doesn't look great. In terms of a reconciliation, I don't think we're going to see anything publicly, a very public gesture of the two of them, walking arm in arm through the grounds of Buckingham Palace. We cannot expect to see any of that anytime soon. And in terms of a full-blown reconciliation, it is absolutely clear that we are not there yet. But I would like to think that there is still hope for that to happen.
There we go, Afua Hagan, ever the optimist. Thank you, Afua. Good to see you. Much appreciated.
Thank you.